Hello bookish friends on the internet. Welcome and welcome back to my channel. My name's Drew and this is Drew's Ambitious Reading. Today's video we are again another unplanned video, but I thought it would be nice to do a yearly goal check-in type of video. I won't be doing all my goals in this video. I will be doing each goal separately. I will try. So without further ado, for this series, I'm gonna call it series I've wrapped up this year. My goal in the beginning of the year was to read 21 series for the year of 2021, and I completed that this month with 2 series that I've read. So these are in no particular order. I'm just going to talk about the series, what I loved about the series, what I didn't like about the series, and if I recommend them to you guys. And yeah, some of these I've read this month, some of them I read this whole year. I've read about 143 books, I want to say. I'm currently working on 144 right now, which is like crazy to say that. But yeah, let's get started, why don't we? So first up I have is one of my favorite books of 2021, spoiler alert, and that is the Trials of Apollo series by Rick Riordan. We're starting off on a bang. This is the second series set in the Percy Jackson universe. I love this series. I was planning on buddy reading this with my friend Taylor, but she read it, she got her hands on it earlier than I did, and I love this. I can see why Taylor cried in this book. I can see why everyone else was crying in this book. I was out of the loop last year and never got the chance to read it until earlier this year. I want to say in April or May. But I definitely recommend this series. It's so fun, lighthearted, middle grade. And yeah, it's just overall a fantastic series. I would say this is one of my favorites in the book series, and I gave this finale a 5 out of 5 stars. It was amazing. Let's see if I can find places to put books. Next series I've completed back in July, and that was the Cassidy Blake series by Victoria Schwab. We have City of Bones, Tunnel of Bones, or City of Ghosts, Tunnel of Bones, and Bridge of Souls, all by Victoria Schwab. Another cute middle grade series. This is an Owl Crate exclusive cover as well, which is stunning. I overall wouldn't say this is my favorite series. I still gave each book like 4 to 5 stars, which is high rating. Not my favorite Victoria Schwab series, but definitely one that I will recommend to my younger readers that I know in my life. And yeah, overall, easy 4-star read this finale was, and I remember my reaction to the ending of this, and I'm like, oh, it wrapped up so nicely. So definitely one of the series I wanted to complete this year, and I believe I put this in my video. If not, I will be ashamed of myself. So next up we have is I don't know what the series name for this is. I don't know what the series name is for it, sorry. But that's the City of Brass trilogy by S.A. Chakraborty. I read book 2 in June, and then I read book 3, I want to say in July or August. I can't remember when I read this because it's like all the months are blending in with each other. But oh man, this is a great high fantasy adult series. I could not put both of these books down. Well, book 2 was a bit slower than book 3 in my opinion, but even though these are slow paced series, it was fantastic from book 1 to book 3. If I had to choose, I'll probably say book 3 is my favorite in this series. Overall, this series gets a 5-star read from me. I absolutely loved it. Both of these made it to my favorite list of the year this year, which is rare for an adult fantasy book to go on there. But I really overall love this trilogy, and I cannot wait to see what she has in store for her other trilogy that she's currently writing. So very excited for that. And this is series number 3 that I completed this year, so yay. I'm gonna set those down because those are paperback and they keep falling over. Next series I completed, I actually have book 4 in this stack. I don't know why I do, but I do. it's falling. Sorry. Next series I finally completed the Ember Quartet series. As you guys know, my journey with the series was long, and I reread 1 and 2 multiple times in the past, and I just never could get past book 2 for some reason. I think it's because I was just scared of finishing this finale. But oh my gosh, and A Sky Beyond the Storm. This one or book 3 is my favorite. It's hard to decide with the series. Each and every book of them is really, really good. It's immaculate. It has wonderful writing and storytelling, and you just can't help but fall for these characters. I overall love this series, and I don't know why it took me so long. I did host an Ember read-along last year, so I'm so mad at myself that I finished it this year and not with my friends who read it last year, because I felt like it would have been a great Zoom call type of reaction video. I don't know. Overall, this whole series gets a 5 out of 5 stars. I love Sabata here with all my heart. I cannot wait to read the graphic novels. Well, I've already read book 1, but I cannot wait to read book 2 in the graphic novel series that she has set in this world. But oh man, this book 4 and book 3 are definitely on my favorite list of 2021 as well. So we love that. Another series I absolutely loved, and it's a very different from all these fantasy books, and that is Pumpkin by Julie Murphy. This is the 3rd and final book in the Dumpling universe, and I read Dumpling the year it came out, I want to say, or I read it like 2 years after or something. I can't remember exactly. I do remember reading them in high school and being kind of embarrassed by the covers, but not really. But I recently read this one. I want to say I read it in October because I wanted to wrap up some series. So this one I wrapped up. I'm so happy I did. It was so cute. It has LGBT characters in this whole series. And book 1 is made into a movie. I'm hoping they do book 2 and 3 because that would be awesome. But overall, it's a super short contemporary novel. All 3 of these are super short contemporary novel. But yeah, overall, I don't know what to say about this series without like spoiling it. It follows Dumpling, who's a fat main character, and she gets picked on a whole lot because of the way she looks. And so there's a lot of trigger warnings in here. Not in this book, but throughout the whole series there is. So again, it's hard for me to talk about finales just because I don't want to spoil you guys of what happened in them. But overall, I would give the series like a 4 stars. Next series I am very disappointed in. I read book 2 this month, so it will be in my December wrap up, and that is the Goddess and the Machine duology by Laura Beth Johnson. The reason why I said I'm disappointed with this, because even though I enjoyed book 1 a whole lot more on my reread this time around, I was so disappointed by this sequel. Devil in the Device was our August book club pick, and I'm so sorry if you guys have read this with us. It was not a great book club pick. I was so bored throughout it. Nothing really was happening in book 2. The only thing that I liked was the big battle at the end of this one, but other than that, that's like it, honestly. And the narrators for the series was amazing because I love those 2 narrators. Overall, this whole duology will get a 3-star rating from me, and I might sadly unhaul these because I don't want to keep 3-star reads on my shelf, so sorry. Another series I might be unhauling is the Scavenge the Stars duology by Tara Sim. I read book 1 whatever year Owl Crate sent it to me, and then I finally was able to read book 2, and again, nothing really much happened in book 2. I just find it kind of boring and not really like a favorite series. I felt like it was a different world, and I felt like we were following different characters. So overall, this duology would get a 3-star read from me as well. Switching gears here from a 3 stars to a 5-star duology, we have King of Scars duology by Leigh Bardugo. I absolutely freaking love this book. We picked this as our April, I can't remember what month, but we had this as a book club pick, and it was amazing, and I loved it. It reminded me of Avengers Endgame, and I just overall love this duology. I gave it 5 stars, and it's one of the series I completed this year. Another series I completed this year but was also disappointed by was 10 Things I Hate About Pinky by Sunny Menon. This one I completed this year finally after sitting on my TBR shelf for a whole year. This is a cute, fun summer read. Summer read. And I loved book 1. I buddy read book 1 with my friend Taylor, and then I read book 2 and 3 without her, and I would not recommend this series. It's fun for the summertime, and it's lighthearted and easy to fall in love with, but it's not my favorite book in this trilogy, and I kind of wish I didn't read it this year. I hate to say that because I love Sunny Menon's writing. I am going to try and catch up on her other series of Curses and Kisses. I've only read that book, and I have not read its sequel yet, so now that I completed this trilogy, I can move on to her other series that she has. This whole series would probably get 4 stars, maybe 3, depending on what I had for book 1 and 2. Next series I read very early on this year. I read it in January, and that was the Love and Gelato series by Jenna Evan Welsh. I read this a few years ago, I want to say 2019, and then I read book 2 in 2020, and then I finally read book 3 in 2021. So I'm happy to say I really love this series. It's super underrated. It has a lot of traveling aspects in here. We go to France, Europe, and France, Italy, and something else. An island. I almost forgot it. And I've never been to any of those places, so seeing it through these characters' eyes, I felt like I was there. So, like, if you're looking for a good summer read, definitely pick this series up. I really enjoyed it. Very underrated. But again, overall, I wasn't really happy with book 3 in this series, so I would say I would not recommend this. But again, at the same time, I would, just because it is a fun, light-hearted read. But yeah, I might unhaul this because I only own the first book, and I borrowed book 2 and 3 from my library. One that I absolutely loved and finished so fast was Rayburn duology by Jordan E. Funko. This is a stunning cover. I will not get over how stunning this cover is. I read book 1 back in January, and then I read book 2 as soon as it was released. I pre-ordered book 2 because I knew I loved book 1 from earlier this year, and book 1 will be on my favorite list. Book 2 I was a little disappointed by. Can you sense a theme in this video? Sequels are just not happening for me this year. Like, the only sequels I absolutely love was Rule of Wolves, Tower of Nero. So yeah, like, those are the only sequels I like really loved. But Rayburn was absolutely enjoyable. I believe this was Easy Cat from Jason from Easy Cat's book club pick this year, so that's why I wanted to read it anyways, and I'm so glad I did. It's so fun, so fast paced. I also buddy read this with my friend Lori, and I cannot wait to see what she thinks of book 2 because I don't think she read book 2 yet. But overall, I'll give the series a 4 stars. And then the series that shocked me that I really enjoyed is the Stormcrow duology by Kaylin Josephson. I read book 1 earlier this year. I think I read this in the same month as Rayburn, so that was pretty fun to do that. And then I read book 2 finally. I had never owned book 2. I only owned book 1 for the longest time. And in the summer I bought book 2 just because of how much I needed the book after this cliffhanger. Like, ooh, it was so good. I was doing a reading vlog for it, but I never like posted it, so sorry about that. But overall, I would give this duology a 4 stars, and I need more from this world and just this author in general. So Kaylin, I don't know what you're doing, but I need more books from you, please. This duology gets a 4 out of 5 stars for me. Another duology I absolutely loved this year, I don't know if I have book 1. Nope, I don't have book 1 on my list, but that's okay. Is the Incendiary duology by Zoria Cadavio. Let me see. Yeah, I have book 1 right here. So Incendiary is book 1, and Illusionary is book 2, and wow, this was an amazing duology. I absolutely loved it. This is an unexpected series that I thought I would not love because it had like pirate. I mean, I love pirates, but like pirates books usually get to the bottom of my TBR for some reason. So yeah, this duology gets a 5 out of 5 stars. I absolutely loved it. I love book 2. Book 2 is my favorite in the series. Another duology that I wrapped up this year was this Sky Hunter series. Wow, I cannot think of book 1. The Sky Hunter series by Marie Lu. This is a duology, and again, she destroyed me with this finale. I cannot believe it's over. I wish there was a 3rd book in this series, but Marie Lu said it's a duology, so it's one and done. Both of these books I absolutely love. I buddy read them with Lori, so I give the series a 5 out of 5 stars. A series that I didn't give 5 out of 5 stars to was the Cursebreaker trilogy by Bridget Kemmerer. I read book 1, absolutely loved it, gave it 4 stars. Then I read book 2, gave it 3 stars, and then this one got a 3 stars. This series was just disappointing for me, which is a little weird because, I don't know, my other TBR cart, not this one, but my other TBR cart that you can't see has Defy the Night on it. So I don't know if I should read Defy the Night or if I should just skip it. But I was so disappointed by this, so this series will get a 3-star read from me. Another series I was so disappointed by and wished this book was a standalone was Spin the Non-Duology by Elizabeth Lim. I finally completed this series, and I actually only read this series based off of my friend M from the Glittering Bookworm on Instagram. She recommended the series to me so much. She was like, you should read this series. I know you have it from Owl Crate. It's so good. And I read book 2 and I was like, I don't see why. So I loved book 1, absolutely stunning book. It was amazing, but book 2 kind of like was disappointing to me. So this will be a 4-star read for me. Another series I wrapped up that was a middle grade is the Stormrender trilogy by J.C. Clements. I marathoned the hell out of this series. I had book 1 through 3 on my shelves for quite a while, and I just haven't like had a chance to pick them up yet. And I was like, I know I will love these because I love the audiobook for book 1 when I read it last year. I actually buddy read book 1 with my friend Taylor, and now she's reading book 2 and 3 without me. Sorry about that. But I hope you love the series, Taylor. I know I loved it. I gave this whole series a 5 out of 5 stars. Another series I gave a whole 5 out of 5 stars to is Tristan Strong series by King Mama Bala. This is Tristan Strong Keeps Punching. I got this book sent to me by Disney Book Group, so thank you so much, Disney, which is not sponsored by Disney, but I put a review out on my Instagram, so check that out, and it's also on my Goodreads. Overall, this is a great middle grade series, another one that I will definitely recommend, and it gives a 5 out of 5 stars for me. Another series that had a 5 out of 5 stars throughout the whole series was the Serpent and Dove duology trilogy. Wow. Serpent and Dove trilogy. And if you can't tell by these tabs, this is absolutely my favorite book in the trilogy. I never really tab my books anymore like I used to, but tabbing the book up with my favorite scenes and favorite quotes and favorite moments, it was just so fun to do that. So I might be doing that with my other finales that I'm supposed to be reading this month, so we'll see if that happened. This one I just finished this month, so this book got a 5 out of 5 stars for me, and I absolutely love this whole trilogy. I would say I loved this one the most just because of how much like action-packedness it was and how much like steaminess was in here and all that. So I love this. It was a good enemies to lovers trope, and I just can't wait to read more from Shelby Mahern. And then my final series that I wrapped up this year was the Fabled duology by Adrienne Young. Book 1 is Fable, book 2 is Namesake, and this was so good. I can't remember if I buddy read this book with anyone. Sorry if I did. Overall, I love this duology. It's fantastic. Again, I have The Last Legacy from her on my TBR cart. I don't know where's that exactly, but I cannot wait to read The Last Legacy because it's set in this world following the main cast of characters that we met in this one. So I'm very excited to see what that's all about. And yeah, I cannot wait to read the spin-off series to this, and I hope it's just as good as this duology, and I give this whole series a 5 out of 5 stars. So yeah, there you have it. Those are all the series that I managed to complete in the year 2021. I'm sure I'll read more because I have a lot more sequels planned for my December TBR. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't yet hit that subscribe button, turn your notification on so you don't miss any new videos coming from me soon, and give me a big thumbs up as it helps me out with my channel. And let me know which of these series you have read this year. Have you read any of the same series this year? Let me know down below. And also I want to know, what are your 2022 reading goals? It's crazy that we're almost at 2022. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you all have a great day and night. Be kind to one another, and I love you so much. Bye.